I watched love slip away slowly, agonizingly, quietly. Nothing like the movies where someone storms out, shouting their heart out. No, this was different. It was a gradual kind of leaving, 1,000 tiny moments slipping through my fingers before I even realized what was happening. It began with small things, insignificant at first. She stopped texting me first. Her "I love you" felt distant, like she had to force it out, hesitating before saying it. And her eyes, oh, those eyes, they didn't sparkle when they looked at me anymore. They used to. God, they used to. At first, I made excuses. She was tired. She was stressed. She still loved me. It was just a rough patch, right? But love doesn't hide. Love doesn't make you wonder if you're still wanted. It shows up, stays, and fights. And yet she was slipping away. I asked her once, "Are we okay?" She smiled, her lips curving like nothing was wrong. But her voice cracked on the last syllable. In that moment I knew. Deep down I knew. But I stayed. I fought. I loved her harder, thinking maybe if I just gave her a little more, she'd come back to me. I showed up with flowers on a random Tuesday, hoping to rekindle something that had long since dimmed. I wrote her notes, left them in her coat pockets. I planned dates, trying to capture moments of joy when she barely looked up from her phone. But no matter how much I tried, it was only me fighting for us. The truth is, you can't make someone stay if they don't want to be found. Some days she was there smiling, laughing like before, giving me just enough hope to hold on. But other days, she was a ghost beside me, miles away in spirit. It hurt more than heartbreak. It was death by 1,000 cuts. I started losing pieces of myself, trying to hold on to her. I stopped smiling. I stopped laughing. I stopped being me. And one morning, I looked at her across the breakfast table. Her messy hair, sleepy eyes, she seemed like a stranger. And worse, I didn't recognize myself anymore. So without a fight, without a word, I disappeared. No dramatic goodbyes. No final plea for her to choose me. I packed up what was left of my heart and walked away. Not because I stopped loving her, but because I finally started loving myself. At first, the silence was deafening. I kept reaching for my phone, half expecting a message, a missed call, some sign that she noticed I was gone. But there was nothing. Days turned into weeks. The loneliness was brutal, but slowly, the pain transformed into peace. I started to remember who I was before loving her made me forget. I picked up old hobbies, met new people, laughed again. Real laughter, not the forced kind. I started living instead of waiting. And then one rainy night, the kind of rain that soaks you in seconds, I heard a knock on my door. I wasn't expecting anyone. A part of me hesitated to answer, unsure of what this moment would bring. But when I opened it, there she was, drenched from head to toe, mascara running down her cheeks, eyes wide, desperate. She looked at me, as if I were the last piece of land in a drowning world. She didn't say hi, didn't ask to come in. She just whispered, I was wrong. I stood frozen. Part of me had dreamed of this moment, imagined it on all those lonely nights, hoped for it. But another part of me had already buried her. She broke down right there on my doorstep, sobbing, trembling. She missed me. She realized too late what we had. That love in me felt like home. And she had been stupid enough to walk away. She begged me to try again, to rewrite our story. I wish I could tell you that I ran to her, that we kissed in the rain, and the world finally made sense. But I didn't. Because in that moment, I realized something important. Love shouldn't have to leave before it's appreciated. Real love, the kind that builds a life, not just moments, doesn't abandon you and expect a warm welcome when it returns. I still loved her, maybe a part of me always would. But I love myself more now. I looked her in the eyes and told her the truth. I hope you find happiness. I hope you heal. But we're not the same people we were. She cried harder, said she would wait, said she'd do anything to prove herself. Maybe she would. Maybe she meant it. But sometimes love isn't about second chances. It's about knowing when the chapter is over, when the book is closed. And this time I chose me. I closed the door gently, no anger, no bitterness, just peace. She stood there for a while, maybe hoping I'd change my mind. But I didn't. Because healing isn't about who comes back. It's about who you become after they leave. And I had become someone who didn't beg to be loved. Someone who didn't need to rewrite an old story to believe in a new beginning. And somewhere, in that rain-soaked night, I realized the greatest love story I could ever write was the one where I didn't lose myself.